about when a major anchor who hosted a debate started crying when she realized that we won? How about tears? No, tell me this isn't true.
We know from the number of times he's told that story that he's talking about ABC's Martha Radditz there. Martha Radditz did not, in fact, cry on election night. She did not say, no, tell me this isn't true. There were no tears streaming down her face. It's wrong what he is saying about her. But what I'm bothered by is the way he is singling her out, not just with wrong information, but singling her out. Is this how even a reporter like Martha Radditz is going to be treated by this president?
No, and I would have updates, but they're privately held. We've been discussing this with ABC News. I've talked to the president of ABC News about this directly, and I've talked to the president-elect. And look, we all have enormous respect for Martha Radditz as a journalist. Everything you just said about her would get a +1 from me. And we do have enormous respect for her and her colleagues at ABC News. I think anybody who watches just this past week, the job she did sitting in for her colleague on This Week, the George Stephanopoulos, it was a tour de force in how you interview people right, left, and center about issues you know something about.
She's among the best that we've got in this country.
I completely agree with you. But I would like to broaden the conversation, if I may, out in terms of...
Wait, are we going to get an apology from the president-elect on that? I mean, he's telling a story about her that is not true and telling it to great effect and having people jeer her. Will he correct this?
Well, so apologies like that are not made publicly necessarily, but
the accusation was made publicly.
So the accusation was made by a number of people, and I'm just telling you I've got an update to what you presented there, is all I'll say. And it would make you happy. So, but in terms of his relationship with the press, I mean, Rachel, I don't know how anybody can disagree with just the empirically provable fact that Donald Trump got more negative press coverage than anybody in modern political history.
Also, quantifiably more press coverage than anybody in modern political history.
Well, because people were trying to prevent him from being the president.
Oh, he was a phenomenon.
Well, he's a heck of a lot more interesting to cover, that's sure, than the alternative. No doubt people wanted to cover him, but I mean, the negative press, the presumptive negative press, and I'm somebody who's very pro-press. I'm somebody who I think has good relations with most of the press, the print and electronic media. But it is frustrating oftentimes, if you're in Trump world, to not be able to get your message out, which is why he ended up taking it directly to the people. People would ridicule us for doing these rallies, but it was his way of being the master communicator, master connector he is, of making people feel like they were part of his movement, not part of some garden variety politician campaign. And let me just say, his way of cutting through the noise or cutting through the silence on an issue, whatever the case was in a given time.
It's on an issue like, just to stay specific to Martha Radditz here, he did say something about her publicly that isn't true, and until he corrects it publicly, the people who heard him say it will continue to believe an untrue thing about a woman who doesn't deserve it. I will just make that case to you.